Hello, everybody. This is Mike from Dimensional Walking, and I want to talk today about the COP26 and the alien intervention. Okay, so this is, I got a lot of information over many years of doing abductee and contactee interviews. And many of them talked about a lot of the things that alien species had told them or shown them, okay? So anyways, today, it looks like the COP26 climate conference basically has ended. And it looks like there's a lot of people out there that want to do some great things. And we really do need to do some great things. But one of the issues here is that at the summit itself, there were more people from the oil and gas fossil fuel industry than from any other country that was attending the conference. So that was kind of a sad thing, because the simple fact, chances are, because of that, there will not be the will to make the huge changes we need to make to basically save the planet. I know those are big words, but I got good reason to tell you that is probably very much true. So a little bit about my story is probably about 50 years ago. I know that dates me. I'm a pretty old guy. But 50 years ago, I was in college. And my college professor, my mentor, he was a famous climatologist. And what he would do every few years, he would go to the Greenland and he would do corings, ice corings on the ice sheet. And he would bring them back. And what he would do is, and I didn't really know this until he finally told me, was he would go and count the number of CO2 bubbles in it. Apparently CO2 creates some bubbles in ice. You can tell, well, how much CO2 at any given point in time there was in the atmosphere. So one time he came back and he had a very grave look on his face. And I asked him what was wrong. And he said, we have got something really crazy coming our way, and it's not good. And basically he said that the CO2 looked like it was accelerating, and apparently he was able to core down far enough to go back actually thousands of years. But what he saw was that the last 150 years, it was astronomically accelerating. And that doesn't include methane. Okay, he didn't even talk about methane at that time. Now we got methane in the picture. Probably the last 10 years I've been talking about methane, how dangerous that is to the environment. So anyways, so with that said, I believe we've crossed the tipping point. I think we crossed the tipping point 5 years ago. And what that means basically right now, in my estimation, is that we are basically going to try to make it less worse than it is. We are not going to reverse this. It's going to happen. So what we have to do is find ways to keep the temperature probably at 1.5 increase, no more than that, which I don't believe we will. Even at the conference, they were saying it looks now, if we just do what supposedly we have agreed to, we're going to be lucky to keep it to 2.4 by the end of the century. 2.4, I'm going to tell you, is crazy wild, because it's if we think the last few years have been bad, and I live in Oregon, and huge fires have come within miles of my house. It was frightening. We also had this tremendous heat bubble that came over us and produced a record that was 10 degrees above normal, all-time normal here. The all-time normal for Oregon was 108. Now it's 118. That is absolutely freaking crazy. I mean, it's just beyond anything. So anyways, this is accelerating. And I'll comment on it a little later also. So with that said, I don't believe again, because of our sleeping with fossil fuels, we're going to get out of this without somebody pushing us a little bit, or maybe a lot. And I think that's where the aliens will come in. I don't think they're going to come and clean the air up with some of their fantastic technology. I really believe they're going to force us to do it. And I believe they believe we have the technology to do it. We just have to have the will to do it. And so my feelings are, and some of the things that people have told me, abductees and contactees, things that they were shown, how the world was going to look in the future. I would suspect that if the aliens want to help us not become extinct, they will force us into doing the right thing. And I think what that right thing will be is they would probably give us something like, say, 20 years. And we have each year we have to reduce it by 5%. That's a lot. That would be both CO2 and methane. And if we didn't meet our goals on a yearly basis of 5% for 20 years, then they would come in and basically force it by taking coal-firing plants, basically destroying them, taking other industries that basically consume fossil power derived from fossil fuels. And then if that doesn't work, and what they'll do is they'll probably eventually, we'll get the point, because guess what? They'll be taking our beloved cars, our gasoline cars, and taking them. And then we'll get down there at 5% per year. And at the end of 20 years, we'll be back to, probably like we were 30 years ago or 40 years ago, which will make all the difference in the world. And we basically will be reversing it. But we have to do it probably within the next 20 years to bring it all down, 100% methane and CO2. So that's what I feel like needs to happen. And maybe it will. Maybe the aliens will say, hey, this is a beautiful planet. Let's not destroy it. Let's not let the humans destroy it. Let's help them fix it. But we're going to force them to do it. They made the mess. They're going to have to clean it up. Anyways. So with that sad note, one more thing I want to say is, since I've known about this for probably 50 years, I've also been able to look at the acceleration, and the acceleration is exponential. It's beyond anything, and you'll see in the next few years how exponential it is. It's not going to get any better, and it's only going to get worse quickly unless we do something big time. We have to do something big time. So with all that happy things, thanks a lot for listening, and happy trails until we meet again. And please subscribe to our website, Dimensional Walking, a paranormal adventure, a paranormal journey. And please, if you have any questions or comments, or want to see us to do other things, we do a variety of different paranormal type things. And sometimes I throw in a little bit of current events. But anyways, you can get a hold of us at dimensionalwalking@gmail.com. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.